episode 571 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Smackdown only tonight. So far, WrestleMania 40, we already have a brother versus brother match announced. Could we also be seeing a father versus son match again at Mania? All that and more right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to this Friday night episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. But tonight, we only have one show of pro wrestling to talk about, and that is WWE Friday Night Smackdown. I am Lance Brock. Thank you for tuning in, listening, downloading 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight. As I talked about this morning on Good Morning Wrestling Fans, since AEW Rampage aired Wednesday night this week, right after Dynamite, it was not on tonight, of course. Also, tomorrow night, no episode of AEW Collision either. But on this Friday night episode right now, going to be talking about SmackDown, and then after the recap, I'll see if there's any pro wrestling news can go over or talk about. But let's get started with tonight's WWE Friday Night Smackdown. And SmackDown was live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Our commentators tonight, Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. And we have Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar going one-on-one, which was the reason in that little preview at the top of the podcast I mentioned maybe another father and son match this year at WrestleMania, because we got a little tease tonight in this match. Rey Mysterio losing to Santos Escobar due to a distraction from Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who is there wearing one of his father's masks. Could be just me, maybe, could be wrong, but I kind of took that as a tease for maybe another father-son match, just like last year, if you remember. And Dominic Mysterio had a great entrance coming out of the police car, handcuffed, wearing one of Rey's masks. I know going into last year's match, a lot of people were thinking this, myself included, and that was, could Rey possibly put the mask on the line? Last year, of course, was when Rey was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and didn't really turn into an angle, but Dom and Rhea Ripley were there, and then they ended up getting up and walking off during his speech. And then during the match, Dominic's sister Aaliyah ended up throwing a drink in his face. So, could possibly see another father versus son match. We're already seeing brother versus brother, Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40. So I wouldn't doubt it if we do see that. And the qualifying matches continued for the six-pack challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And it's Grayson Waller and Austin Theory defeating the OC, the Good Brothers, whichever you want to call them, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson to qualify. Also, we have the Street Profits going over the Authors of Pain to qualify. Io Sky defeated Naomi, which led to Bianca Belair coming out, making the save, and that led to a gang attack on Bianca Belair. I thought this was really great. Naomi sold it well, trying to use her own body to shield Bianca. Thought that was pretty great selling there. And we got a face-to-face, the American Nightmare and the Tribal Chief, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, which I thought was actually pretty well. And the only Bloodline member that was there, or at least was supposed to be there, was Paul Heyman. And as they said, he's no physical threat to Cody Rhodes. And then after, you have Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso come through the crowd and surround Cody Rhodes in the ring. But Cody Rhodes does have some backup in the form of main event Jey Uso and Seth freaking Rollins as SmackDown goes off the air live from Milwaukee. And that was tonight's WWE Friday Night Smackdown, which I thought was a pretty good show. Good 2 hours of WWE tonight. I probably wouldn't say it was really that great of a show, but it was alright. I definitely wouldn't say it was bad or anything. I haven't been doing my rating system as much as I should as of late, but I would probably give it a passing grade. I need to get back to my ratings, ring bells for matches and for the overall show. I've kind of been slacking a little bit when it comes to that. So before I wrap up this Friday night episode 571, which I think I gotta apologize for the last episode. I think I made a mistake. I might have said the wrong number episode that it actually was, so I apologize. I know I'm always making mistakes here on the podcast, but to get into some news, not really news, but check out Maven's YouTube channel. He puts out a new video every Friday, and this week he's actually watching the famous video of Stone Cold Steve Austin beating up Booker T in a grocery store, and he's watching it with Booker T. So Booker goes over, talks about how they, of course, paid the grocery store to do that, and they just ad-libbed everything, just went with it. And there's been a couple announcements for WrestleMania weekend. the new Bray Wyatt documentary that they're working on will debut on WrestleMania Saturday on Peacock and the WWE Network. Also, the Slammy Awards have been announced for WrestleMania weekend, which I believe will be on WrestleMania Sunday this year. That's, to me anyway, kind of seems like an interesting time that they would have it. I remember before, I want to say it was before WrestleMania 12, was it? They had it the night before, and one of the other ones as well. They had it as a special on USA the night before WrestleMania. But we'll have to see how this is just making WrestleMania weekend even more busy than it already is. And there's a rumor, possibly the Motor City Machine Guns may be leaving TNA. Wouldn't be too surprised after Scott D'Amore recently being fired from the company. And I wouldn't say for sure it's a done deal, but who knows, could see them leave TNA. And the question is, would WWE be interested? Would AEW be interested? I could definitely see, just my opinion, I could probably see AEW being more of the likely option. Or could they possibly go back and have another run in New Japan Pro Wrestling? Or maybe they just go and work on the indies. Also, last night on TNA Impact, it was made official, Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian in a Full Metal Mayhem match at TNA Rebellion on April 20th. Also, another match that has been announced for Rebellion is Mustafa Ali defending the TNA X Division Championship against Jake something. That one I'm looking forward to see. And also Queen Aminata will face Billy Starks at Supercard of Honor in the finals of the tournament for the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. Also, that seems to be about it, actually, of all the news I got to talk about for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, listening, and downloading wherever you are listening. And remember, as always, in the comment section, you can leave your thoughts, your opinions, your ratings, whatever you want on tonight's episode of WWE Friday Night Smackdown, or just anything pro wrestling. Just keep it friendly and be nice to everybody. But you can talk anything pro wrestling you want. The WrestleMania card, what's going on in AEW, TNA, doesn't matter, just as long as it is pro wrestling. And you can email me as well, 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. And remember, Instagram and Threads, 360 Wrestling Podcasts for both of them. Also on X at 360 Wrestling Pod. Facebook, don't even know when the last time I updated it, but who knows, maybe I'll get back on there soon. 360 Wrestling Podcasts. And hope everyone had a great Friday today. Hope you all have a great weekend. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Good morning, wrestling fans. But until then, I am Lance and I am a wrestling fanatic.